So my name's Kamron Kannahjkovani. I'm one of the co-founders of Mother Earth Brewing Co out of Vista, California, which is North San Diego County. We opened in May of 2010, so it's been about 7 years. This is our first venture into the beer industry. So obviously I was an avid beer drinker, prior to starting the brewery. Got into beer back in the mid-2000s when I was living in the Bay Area. And then I kind of brought that passion down here and shared it with the family, and my stepfather and I, and along with my uncle and cousin, all decided to start the brewery together. So it's been a wild ride. I think there's a number of things that make our beer unique. Starting a brewery from the ground up as an entrepreneur in the family-owned business is difficult to say the least. So I think our history makes us unique, and then also our passion for what we do, carries through the beer. So quality is of the utmost importance, and we are a beer-first brewery. And not necessarily a brand-first brewery. There's a story that lives through the beer. We've always been told if you make good beer, the people will come, and so that's been our mission from day one. Well, I'll start with why craft. As most people understand it, craft is something that's relatively small, that's handmade, where there's a story there, there's a passion. The craft beer movement for us was a very natural fit because it feels very authentic. And coming from kind of the corporate world, where myself and my stepdad came from, it just felt very real. It instills a passion in you to get up every day and kick some butt at what you do. What drives us and makes us original is the way we started. The whole story of being in a 1,500 square foot suite with 26-gallon stock pots that we brewed in behind the trash can, and now fast forward 7 years and we're distributed in 12 states. We have 65 employees, and it's pretty wild. I don't get up in the morning and come into work because I have to. I do it because I want to. I don't think a lot of people can say that about their job, which is, that's the thing, it's not a job, it's my life, So we're only going to be as successful as we as a team collectively make it. And so that drives me. The inspiration, like I said, really comes from sort of the small things, Somebody telling me that they saw our beer, in another state, or getting an email that they said, their husband is in the service and he's about to deploy, and we made his year by shipping him some 6-pack. It's really the small things at this point that get us out of bed, I feel like. When you experience the product or even the brand, it feels authentic. Kind of like what you guys are doing with Original Grain, right? I mean, like the wood, for example, that's used in making these watches came out of these barrels that our beer was also aged in. I think that's a really cool story, and it happened very organically, right? It's not like we sat down at a conference table in suits and decided that this is what we were going to do. That's the definition of craft, right? If you take our 4 Seasons program, for example, this beer that's in here is aged in these barrels that are used for this exact watch. That's you can't make that up. No marketing genius can make that up. It's a real story. It's very cool.